All right, so today I was basically finishing the entire issues restructuring for our dat.ui. So I will return to the dat.dot protocol and the dat.dot state machines, which are still open. But just to kind of put this one to an end, I'll try to really sum things up. So basically, we have this main issue on the dat.ui, which kind of tells us what are the remaining steps that need to be done. And we're currently focusing, we have a lot of this done, but now we have to basically wrap it up and add all the specs and all the work we already did to the issues to basically freeze it and continue, but basically start with the implementation, but some things have been implemented in the past, but continue. And according to our UI spec. So the plan section is the main thing that Fiona is currently working on. It has a bunch of sub-issues and we will create a bunch of more. And those are meant to really form a tree of issues. This one is the overview for the entire UI. And then we have sub-issues. Those are the main sections that our app will have. And once we have them, we kind of work on them through screens. Like maybe I can show an example. So here, for example, okay, that one's not the best one, but not much is happening here. But basically, full screens, and for every possible button interaction, the detail. Here you see some things, but it's an older version. Are shown here, and we will break this down into a component structure, and we will then start implementing those, or rather continue to implement them, because we already implemented a bunch of them. But because it's so many, we really have to kind of see what will we do now, what will we do keep for later, and to not miss anything, because it's easy to get lost into a project that is quite complex for a small team like ours. And I'm really happy that I kind of finished this with all the latest updates and feedback that we together gave to Fiona, and she will probably now produce the remaining screens, and then we can start implementing. Right, so for me, that means I will go back to the dat.dot service that Nina is working on, and she's implementing we have too many branches. We should come back down to one branch and do hypermodular development. Anyway, the dat.dot service is worked on by Nina, and it includes a lot of state machines. And those state machines will be run by processes that run dat.dot, but we will have many processes, and they all interact with each other. And in order to make the message sending easier, I'll continue to work on little helper modules that help us to communicate. So that's what I will continue tomorrow. I already copied most of the state machines that Nina already wrote down, and I'm trying to now set up some hopefully straightforward ways so that they can communicate and we don't have so much code overhead. And the goal is that the code will be really readable, like a spec, because we are too small of a team to maintain like a spec next to the code. And in that context, I will also update the issues and hopefully clean them up in the same way I did it with the dat.ui. And then let's see where that gets us. So see you tomorrow.